All right, I am with Eugene Lee, and he is the man when it comes to this play, Two Trains Running, right here at Arena Stage. Great job. I saw the play. Excellent. Tell me how you got involved in acting. Let's go back and talk about Eugene Lee.
Wow, man. I've been doing this over 45 years. And in high school, I integrated my high school, if you know what I mean. That was the first year of integration of schools in Fort Worth, Texas. And I wasn't in the drama class, but the drama teacher came and got me out of my class.
Yeah.
And they were doing a play called You Can't Take It With You. And they had a black girl to play the maid. They didn't have anybody to play the maid's boyfriend, Donald. And she asked me to read the play and come back. And I read the play, and this play's in the 1930s. And you know, Donald's a lazy, shiftless N-word. And this was 1968. And black was becoming beautiful, just like in this play. And I went back to that lady, little old white lady, and I gave her her script back, and I said, no ma'am, no thank you, I really don't want to do that. And this old lady leaned over to me and said, you want to see me put one of these white boys up there in blackface? That's when I started acting.
Okay, okay. So you never really thought about acting before that?
No, I was going to be a lawyer, man. Yeah. I was going to be
lawyer.
President of the United States.
Okay,
Yeah.
and this is where in Texas?
In Fort Worth,
Fort
Texas.
Worth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cowtown.
And so you didn't want to be a farmer?
No, my dad's a farmer.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad's education, my dad went to, I think, 8th grade. And his mother was the teacher in the colored school there.
Okay.
You know, that tells you
right.
a little bit about the dynamics and stuff down in East Texas.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You're still there in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
What made you stay there? What made you?
I got family there. You know, economically, it's one of the best places in the world to live, if you know what I mean, in the country to live.
Yeah.
I got 4 times the land and 3 times the house that I had in LA, and I'm near family, and I got a great job with my university as artist in residence. I got the best job in the world. I'm free to go do things like what I'm doing now and chase my plays around. But I like Texas. I don't like the politics, but I grew up in a Texas that was a Democratic stronghold. You know, Lyndon Johnson and John Connolly and all that group. And I went away and they switched some kind of way. But I'm watching that big boat start to turn. I've been back a decade now, and Democrats are raising their heads, and that. So you know, yeah, I like Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is it? Texas State.
Texas State University. Yeah, Lyndon Johnson's alma mater.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where you are artist in residence.
Yep.
So explain what that is.
I run a playwrights conference I'm artistic director of the Texas State Black and Latino Playwrights Conference, which is a playwrights conference that I sort of patterned after the Eugene O'Neill, Lloyd Richards. I bring in a couple of black and Latino playwrights to workshop their plays. We also do panels to look at the state of black theater, the state of Latino theater, and I do a tribute to pioneers from black and Latino theater. Did a tribute to Douglas Turner Ward with the Negro Ensemble Company one year, Octavio Solis, Latino playwright, to Luis Valdez and El Teatro Campesino, and to Regina Taylor last year, the Texas playwright and actress. So I'm trying to nurture some voices, some young voices, some young playwrights. The mission statement for it is to study the craft of playwriting, to nurture the playwright, and to celebrate the work.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made you say, well, I want to do this the rest of my life?
Well, I said that before then, if you know what I mean. I made that commitment a long time ago. But with the Negro Ensemble Company, from a creative perspective, they only did new plays. So we were snatching plays off of people's typewriters and standing them up, and they, you know, plays like a soldier's play, Pulitzer Prize winning plays.
And who was some of the people in there with you? I mean,
Denzel Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, Brent Jennings, Stephen Anthony Jones, Peter. Oh, what's Peter's last name? I can't think of his name.
Adolph Caesar?
Adolf Caesar.
Yeah.
You introduced me to my wife.
Right.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
the man.
you're kidding me.
He was the man, yeah.
Oh,
Adolf.
my God. And if
Larry
people
Riley.
don't know, he was one of the stars in Color Purple.
In Color Purple, that's
also.
Right. Yeah. Good man. He took us all under his wing, man. And, we learned from that man. Yeah, he was a master.
Yeah.
His voice was recognizable and well known. He's like one of the top 2 voices in the country in terms of voice work. Oh yeah.
And speaking of voice work, you do a lot of that yourself, right?
Yeah.
Talk about that, what you do with the voice work.
Well, I do characters and stuff like that. You know, I worked with a loop group in Los Angeles, and looping is a word for what they call ADR, automated dialogue replacement. And we do background voices and stuff for films and for television. I guess one of the best examples I can give you is Glory. All those battle scenes in Glory. It was me and I think 7 other guys, 3 days, standing watching that film and doing all the dying.
Okay.
And you know, but crowds in stadiums, football fields. A lot of times we create those and on airplanes and in restaurants. We do crowd stuff, do different languages and things like that too. Three Amigos, the movie Three Amigos. I was doing Spanish. The movie Da, I did an Irish thing, you know. I was a black Irishman on that set.
And you've done Caribbean, you've done West Indian.
I've done West
right?
Indian and Jamaican, and even specifically, you know, worked with Clint Eastwood on Heartbreak Ridge, and that was a specific Spanish dialect that they wanted.
Okay.
You know, so you know, there's Puerto Rican, there's Puerto Rican, there's Spanish. And Cubano, there's Cuban, and there are different dialects even within that language that are recognizable to a sensitive ear, if you know what I mean.
You have done so many August Wilson works, and one of them is 2 Trains Running, which is playing right here at Arena Stage.
Right,
Memphis Lee, I love that character.
I like him too. Well, you know, I have to like him. This play, in terms of the play, actually is one of the only plays I think I hear people say that has a happy ending, for example.
That's what I was surprised about.
Which is really kind of rich. But it's a really kind of multi-tiered happy ending, and I just love the creativity of it. I won't give it away. But it is a positive ending.
I love that positive ending.
That's rich. And as for all these characters, man, in this play, it seems to me are looking for their just desserts.
Cried so hard, the tears run all down in my ears. Got up, walked out the door, and everything looked different. Everything had changed. Felt like I'd been cut loose. All them years, something had a hold of me and I didn't even know it. I didn't find out till it cut me loose. I walked outside and everything had different colors to it.
Risa, as a woman, is looking for her just desserts as a woman to be treated.
That was a great role she played.
Oh no, she's very rich and highly nuanced, if you know what I mean. And because she doesn't talk a lot, but she's on stage.
But you know she's there.
Her presence
is
there's a wonderful story.
It's a great story.
But Hambo wants his ham. He wants his just desserts. He wants what he deserves for what he. And
well, you know, I was reading something about August, and he said that he wants to show the nobility and beauty of these characters despite their struggles.
Right, right. And he does.
And it shows right there in that one. It shows in Fences. It shows in a lot of his work.
Right.
Watch and see what I'm telling you. They're going to double what you paid for. They ain't going to give you no $10,000 on top of that.
Then they can't have my building. I figure that $25,000 is cheap. I figure they closing me out, forcing me to move. They ought to pay me for that. I don't care what the building's worth or how much I bought it for.
He celebrates his people. You know, and I think that's what we do documents the human condition in a way, if you know what I mean. And his documentation of the black experience in America for that century is genuine. It's authentic. It's not revisionist history, and it's from a personal perspective. It's not events. It's people.
It's almost symphonic, you know, how you guys work in harmony in that piece.
Well, I often say, you know, the poetry in August's language, I mean, I blame it as his fault. And you almost don't act a lot of his plays. You sing them in a way, because there is a rhythm to this language. And to a really sensitive ear, if you look at all 10 plays, you can hear Africa leave the language in the rhythm, from Gem of the Ocean to Radio Golf. I mean, some of this writing is just that precise. If you watch what happens during different periods, during different decades, and watch what happens to the language in these plays, especially with particular characters. But you do sing his plays. And in terms of a rehearsal process, you know, we work 8 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
So we do become a family.
Yeah.
And it is rehearsed, not unlike a symphony is rehearsed. When you say the symphonic aspect, we move around a lot more with our instruments than they do.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
But you know, opera, you know, there's that tradition.
What's your favorite part of this piece?
Of this piece? I'm really moved and touched by the Risa Sterling relationship. And that arc through the play.
Yeah.
And those two finding each other. That's another one of those positive things.
A positive thing.
In it.
What have the people live? Prophet Samuel used to say, if you a hypocrite, it don't count with God. He wants you all the time. He used to say, God can look into your heart and tell.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that part too, because I wasn't expecting it to be a positive thing.
Yeah, there's every reason
I wasn't
for it
expecting it
not to be.
Exactly.
But yeah, they what was it? Somebody I said the other night. I said, yeah, they saved 2 other people.
Yeah. What would you say is the reason why people should come out to see this piece?
To see themselves. To see themselves celebrated with all their foibles, with all their strengths. To see what's beautiful about themselves.
Loan me $2. I want to play a number. Me and Risa got something going. Luck might be trying to get in my dough today. I need me some money so I can buy Risa a present. I ain't got it, Sterling.
But to see what's wonderful about the human condition that can thrive, that can survive, that can rise, if you know what I mean. That's what literature is, because this stuff heals. I talk about that all the time. It's what we do heals, because what August does is shine a light onto the black experience, not just for black people, but for everybody, for the world to see the detailed nuances, the emotions, the pain, you know, the joy, because that's how you bridge cultural gaps. That's people don't change until they get new information. And what August does is bring new information about the black experience in America that's been covered up, the history, the people, you know, the accomplishments. You know, he shines a light on those things, and you can't hate something that you understand. You know,
right?
And if nothing else, August offers an understanding of the black experience in America during that particular decade.
And August can't do it without people like you.
Well, I'm happy to be a part of that process.
And the rest of that cast. You guys did a great job.
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, I will. I'm telling them now.
Yeah.
Right?
And your enemies. We need them up in here too.
You need them all in there, right?
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you, man. My pleasure.
Eugene Lee on Metro Scene. We'll be back in a moment.
Team depends on me.
And my team is 50,000 strong.
This is what it feels like to be part of a team.
A winning team.
The action team.
Get in on the action at actionteam.org. Are you in?
Well, we hope you enjoyed Metro Scene with Eugene Lee of 2 Trains Running right here at Arena Stage, and also with the Bowie State Women's Bowling Team. I'm Marvin Jackson. We'll see you next time.